Hello everyone, welcome to this week's Purple Penny coin news. This is a live video that we try to do every Wednesday around about lunchtime, shop activity allowing. A little bit late today because of course I'm having more technical problems. The microphone sync has decided that it doesn't want to be in sync today, so I hope that you can all hear me and that my words aren't too far out of sync with my lips moving. So what's been going on in the shop this week? It's been very busy. Last week was very busy. This week has been very busy. We've had lots of people in here buying and selling, which is always good. Sold some interesting stuff, bought some interesting stuff. As always, it's a challenge to not buy everything and not to keep everything. As a coin dealer, you need to be willing to sell things, but as a coin collector, you never want to sell anything, so that's always a challenge. G'day Michael, how are you, mate? It's good to see you here. So yeah, very enjoyable week in the shop and having a good time, Catherine and I. Catherine isn't going to be making any guest appearances this week. Now, my computer is flickering very strangely, so I hope it stays alive. Computers, you got to love them. G'day Patrick, how are you, mate? G'day Pete, good that you could join us. I think Pete commented on the thread where we announced today's video. Yeah, with Queensland being half an hour behind South Australia at the moment. So let's get on to the news. G'day Chris in Melbourne, how are you, mate? Patrick, good to see you. I hope things up in Burra are okay. So what's happening this week? The Firefighter circulation coins are back in stock. So these are the circulated coins. They're not the C Mint Mark coins. On a credit card sized card, $10 each. I imagine a direct competitor for the Downies coins, $2 coins, which are on cards. So they're back in stock. I think there's a few up on our website, and there'll be obviously coins available for people who come into the shop. Day before yesterday, the Mint announced to dealers the first releases for 2021. Now these are what's called line listed only, which means we've only got a line description of what the items are, and that's about it. So the regular $1 Mint Mark set, which is usually a 4-coin set with the particular year's Mint Mark dollar in it. So this 2020's Mint Mark dollar is the Eureka dollar. Next year, well, I know what it is, but I'm not allowed to say. But there's a 4-coin set with usually a C, S, B and M Mint Mark on them. That's going to be $30, so that's gone up $2.50. There's going to be the silver proof version of that Mint Mark coin, which is a standard 25mm size dollar coin but struck in fine silver. That's going to be $60. There's a gold 999 gold version of it, which is $360. No idea how big that is or how much gold's actually in that, but usually it'd be a 1/20th of an ounce or 1/25th of an ounce or something like that. And then probably the only one that anyone's actually interested in is the last one here, which is the 2021 Tooth Fairy coin in a card. As far as we know, this is the same coin as the Tooth Fairy coin from this year, but with a new date on it, as far as we know. So they're making those available on cards to dealers. They're going to be $15 each. And all of these products will be available on New Year's Day. Not really sure about what time on New Year's Day. There certainly is an embargo on the $1 Mint Mark coins until 10:30 or something like that, Canberra time on New Year's Day. But as usual, they'll be available on our website on release day and available to be picked up in store when we open up again early in the new year. G'day Rob, g'day Mitch, g'day Matt, g'day Alan. So yeah, that's the new releases. It'd be fabulous to get back into the new stuff again. Just remember that we'll be shut from the 24th of December till the 6th of January, so that means that orders made on the website may be a little bit delayed with regards to shipping, but knowing Catherine, she'll come in when we're closed and ship out your stuff anyway, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. So the other bit of news that I found today was someone on Facebook screen capped the latest Australia Post news. No, Paul, no word on the return of the Mint pop-up stalls. You're probably better off messaging the Mint via their Facebook page directly for those, because the dealer network has nothing to do with those pop-up stalls. We don't get an allocation of any of that sort of stuff. I guess COVID is dictating all of that at the moment. G'day Neil, how are you, mate? So Great Aussie Coin Hunt number 2 is a go. It's due for launch on the 10th of May this year, and similar to the Great Aussie Coin Hunt from last year, you imagine there's going to be 26 different coins, one for each letter of the alphabet, each letter representing some sort of Australian icon. It looks like they're going to be focused on animals and insects, so K for kangaroo, W for wallaby, I imagine. The blurb actually mentioned a dollar coin that you would, or a coloured coin that you would be hunting for. So that would be interesting. That may well indicate that there could be a coloured coin of some denomination released specifically for the Aussie Coin Hunt version 2. We don't know what the product range is yet. The Australia Post hasn't let any of that out. But last year, remember, we could there was the coins you could find in change, the dollar coins you could find in change. You could buy them individually on the little cards, each letter. And then there was also the fine silver proof set. I think that's the 3 types of products that they released for the Coin Hunt last year. And of course you could get the folder to put them all in. Anyone can remember any other products that were associated with that Great Aussie Coin Hunt from last year? But that's the ones that I remember from last year. Whether they stick with the same ones next year or not, we don't know. I should just say that, and preempting questions here, these Coin Hunt sets and coins are not made available generally to the Royal Australian Mint Dealer Network. They are an Australia Post product. So what does that mean? It means that if we are going to have them available for sale, we buy them at exactly the same rates that you do from Australia Post. So if you are interested in these Coin Hunt products, you will need to get onto Australia Post and become one of their subscribers and try to buy them through them. So they were a great success last year. Got lots of people interested in looking for the coins and building up complete sets. So it'll be fun to see those appear again. So that's it for coin news for this week. We had a question last week about Proclamation coins. Now, Australian Proclamation coins were coins that Governor Gidley King, who was the governor of the colony of New South Wales in, now I've forgotten the date, 1805 or 1804, I can't remember, he proclaimed that certain coins that were being used in the colony were actually worth more than their accepted face value. So he proclaimed this, and those coins that he mentioned are known as Proclamation coins. And he named 7 or 8 different coins in the Proclamation, and he revalued them at a higher value than what they were generally traded at. Now, the reasoning behind that was that if you could trade in this case, a silver shilling in the colony of New South Wales for 1 shilling and 1 penny, why would you take it out of the colony if you were a sailor or something like that? So it was a ploy to try and retain coinage in the colony. And they're quite collectible for Australian coin collectors. There's some bronze coins, some silver coins and some gold coins. In the Proclamation, we've handled most of them apart from the very expensive gold coins, the Mexican 8 escudos and the Brazilian Johannas. But you can put together the bronze coins and the silver coins quite inexpensively. So the one we're looking at today is the British 1787 shilling, and we'll just switch that slide off and put the picture on so you can actually see what the coin looks like. So that's a British 1787 shilling. Now it's a coin about the same size as a dollar coin, so 25 millimeters. It weighs 6 grams. It's made from sterling silver. It's a milled coin. That means that it's made in a press with a collar die. You can see from the obverse or the head side there, it's got a portrait of King George III, and sort of the technical numismatic term for that type of portrait is it's an armoured and laureate bust facing right, because he's wearing armour and he's got a laurel wreath around his head. The reverse is, and we'll have a look at the reverse. We'll just stop that picture there. So that's the reverse there. The reverse is 4 coats of arms in the form of a cross that represent the parts of Europe that Britain laid claim to, or at least the King of Britain laid claim to. So the shield at the top there is the British and Scottish arms. The shield on the right with the fleur-de-lis in it is the French arms. The shield at the bottom with the harp in it is the Irish arms, and the shield on the left is the Hanoverian arms, and Hanover is a state in Germany, with King George being the Duke of Hanover, King George III being the Duke of Hanover, which was a state in Germany. So that's the back of that coin, 1787 shilling of Great Britain. We can just have a quick look at that information that I had on that initial slide again. So Proclamation coin valued at 1 shilling and 1 penny, 6 grams, 25 millimeters, sterling silver, designed by an Italian designer, Louis Pingo, and there's a description of both sides there. People who collect these will know that there are a lot of varieties of this particular coin, but the key one that everyone looks out for is the hearts and with hearts varieties, and that's just a little design feature on the reverse of the coin. It's called the Semi of Hearts. G'day Tracy, how you going? The Semi of Hearts is hang on a second. This is the Semi of Hearts here. So there's pictures of the 2 Hanoverian shields from the 2 varieties there. Hanover again being the duchy in Germany. And if you look at the shield on the left, you'll see a line, what's called a line rampant on the right hand side there, the top right hand side. And then the shield on the right, you'll see he's surrounded by hearts. There's little hearts there, and Semi actually means scattering or sprinkling of hearts. So it comes in 2 main varieties, this shilling, one with a sprinkling of hearts and one without a sprinkling of hearts. And who doesn't like sprinkles? So that's the 1787 shilling. They're not very expensive in sort of the grades that I have shown here. So this coin here that we're looking at the beginning, you're really only talking sort of $40 to $60 in that sort of grade. So not very expensive at all. If you want a higher grade one, obviously you are going to pay more. Probably one of my favourite coins. And you know, pretty obtainable. We've usually always got a couple. There's also a 1787 sixpence which looks exactly the same, but obviously smaller, half the size. There is a bit of conjecture about 1787 shillings, whether they were on the first fleet or not, and the answer is they weren't, because they weren't minted until October or November in 1787, and the first fleet, which landed in Australia in 1788, had already left England by then. But they certainly came to Australia at later dates, and they're pretty easy to find here in Australia. So that's all I've got today. It's been a pretty quiet week actually, with regards to coin news. I must admit I haven't been as active on social media this week as what I usually am. We have bought a few interesting things, including this. I'll just hold it up to the camera here, including this very high relief agricultural prize medal from 1895. It's always nice to see those sorts of things. So it's hard to sort of describe how high relief it actually is, but we had some interesting things like that come in, and some military badges, and some really interesting and valuable PNCs. which should be up on the website soon. And I've been working my way through groups of banknotes which have just come back from PCGS, and this is one that everyone's always interested in. It's a 1928 half sovereign or 10 shilling note. This one's in VF30 with no problems, so we tend to sell banknotes for reasonably inexpensive prices, so if you are after some banknotes, go and take a look at our website. Alright, that's it. Does anyone have any questions this week? Anything that I've said that doesn't make sense or anything else? No? Alright, well, as always, if you'd like to see us talk about something here on the video each week, please do send us a message or send us an email or give us a call. The Proclamation shilling thing today was as a response of a question that we got last week. Will be, if we don't get any other topics, I'll pick another Proclamation coin for next week and talk about that. Until then, happy collecting and stay safe, and we will see you next week.